So the problem that was presented to me a few weeks ago back when I was having a party is that I needed to play music from my computer to my stereo. That way anybody could just walk in and click, a song on the playlist without having to like burn a CD or a whole bunch of CDs and keep them like next to the stereo. There's a couple of solutions, but I wanted to do it wirelessly. That way I don't have to run wires all the way across my apartment. A, because I'm a neat freak and that will not fly in my apartment, and B, because the longer the cable, and in this case it would be a really long cable, the worse the signal degradation gets. So I went out, I'm a sucker, went out and bought AirTunes, which plugs right into the stereo receiver, and I can play music wirelessly from iTunes. The only problem is this sets me back about $150. So Wes kindly reminded me that I'm a noob, and there's a leader and much cheaper way to do this. And it's really cool because it involves lasers. So Wes, what is the device that involves lasers?
Okay, basically what we've done is take a pen laser pointer, and using amplitude modulation, we'll be able to carry our audio signal from our source to our receiver across the room.
Okay, so this is like direct line of sight?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, well, where'd you first hear about it?
Picked it up on iHack.com, but the original article was from a website that's SciToys.com, made by a guy named Simon Field.
Okay. Well, I see a lot of little parts here. Do you think you could explain to me and the viewers what they are and how much it costs and we can get them?
Sure. All right. Starting off, we actually picked up the laser pointer here from ThinkGeek.
Okay, that's a new site. Somebody get registered.
Yeah, awesome. No, ThinkGeek.com. It ran about $10 there.
Okay.
So we've got that. And then I've relocated the batteries from the laser pointer into this box here. This came from Rat Shack, Radio Shack. And
now, you can run these parallel, though. We just chose to get a battery pack to make it easier to wire, right?
Yeah, this just makes life a lot more simple.
Okay, cool. And I have to ask this question.
Yeah.
This is not the full laser pointer? You just hacked it up?
No, there's a whole barrel that goes behind this, and that's what the batteries were originally stored in. But this was part number 270-398B.
Okay.
And then we've got a miniature audio output transformer. This is part 273-1380.
Okay.
And this is all for the actual transmitter half.
Okay. And then we need a receiver.
Yeah, and then for the receiver, we've got one of these cadmium sulfide photocells. Cadmium,
right?
Photocells. This is 276-1657. AA battery, because this is more like a resistor. It's not like a solar cell that actually creates electricity. This will just vary how much is going through. So we need a AA battery.
Gotcha. And both of these are plugged into mic input?
Well, one's our source, which would be like a headphone jack, and then one would be an input.
Gotcha.
Like,
now we
like a mic.
have a little switch here.
Yeah, a little toggle switch that I decided that I wanted to pick up for this because
you like switches.
I do like switches, and the flaw I saw in this man's original design was that once it's all wired together, the laser's just on.
On. Okay, so you don't want to have to like unplug it and then plug it back in whenever you want to use it.
Well, I mean,
switch.
Yeah, you just switch on, off.
Gotcha.
Done.
Cool. Well, I guess we should just head on into the hack and show us how to do it.
Yeah. So, starting off, we've hacked up the laser pointer here, and what we have to do is run our wires in different directions.
Okay.
We're going to come straight off of the hotline of the battery pack here, and then this will just get attached directly to the laser pointer itself.
Okay.
So for the time being, we'll just kind of twist it on right here. I'm going to solder all these connections here shortly. That just gets tied on to anywhere that there's, the positive is.
Okay, gotcha.
And you just have to pay attention to how that is per your laser pointer.
All right.
So that's just a direct line. And then from there, we take our negative side, and that runs to one side of our audio transformer right here, just like that. And then the other negative gets bridged from the battery pack to the transformer. And we'll just twist this connection together here. And I know it looks like a tangled mess. You can take a lot more time and
make it neat.
Make it neat. Stick it in a hobby box.
In the housing, right?
Yeah, get a hobby box from Radio Shack and make it look pretty.
Gotcha. Let me take a look at this so I can follow you.
Yeah, take a look at it this way. I mean, that's just a really simple thing right there.
Okay.
There's our continuous loop.
Yep.
And then on the other side, now there's two sides to this. There's a 1,000 milli ohm
Something like that. Right?
Something like that. I can't remember exactly. And then there's an 8 ohm side to this.
So this is the
This is the
output.
Yeah, this is the output, and this is the 8 ohm side.
Okay.
And that's the side with only 2 wires, a red and a white.
Okay.
Right there.
That's easy enough.
Yeah. And that just goes to a standard jack like this. You can pick these up from Radio
Shack. On the inside
Shack.
of this little red housing, it's not positive or negative. You can just plug it on either side. As long as it's
as far as I can tell, yeah. As long as you keep all your sides straight, uniform, then it won't be any problem.
Very good.
And I've got all those connections inside of there soldered. It takes about maybe 15-20 minutes, depending upon how fast you work, to get this side done.
Okay.
And then our receiver over here is, of course, our AA battery as a power source. Then we've got the little
solar cell.
Photocell right here.
We could just use solar cells and power our house off it, right? If we had a million of these. No, not really. Okay. Anyways.
Yeah. So anyway, that and this polarity doesn't matter on this side either.
Okay.
So you just run one line from the battery pack to the photocell to your jack, your plug, and then back from that jack to the battery over here.
Gotcha. Very cool.
I mean, that's all there really is to it. And then you can wire the switch in on the hot side over here.
That's an optional thing.
That's an optional thing. I'll do it for my own purposes later.
Right. Gotcha. Well, should we test it out? Is it ready to go?
As it is right now, yeah, it pretty much is.
All right, well, we put it here ahead of time.
Yeah, purposefully.
A stereo. So here we go. Let's pull it up, and I will let you take over from here.
All right. So we've got our stereo right here. Go ahead and turn it on. CD's the best thing. No CD, no extra sound going on.
Gotcha.
So we will plug in
the music coming from the iPod.
Yeah, all we got to do is
soon to be.
It's playing right now. So now we just line up our laser sight. Hit the little button.
I'm going to turn the volume up.
Let's see if our listeners can hear that.
There we go. I hear it. So in this case, you have to have a very steady hand, but it wouldn't be too hard to make a mount for it if you knew where it was and had some binoculars to across the room. Now, that's pretty good. I mean, sounds good. Sounds great.
It's okay.
The only downfall is that, as opposed to, something like AirTunes, you have to make it yourself, and you have that line of sight problem. But this is much cooler than AirTunes because it can do other things, like blind people, if you really wanted it to,
Yeah, if somebody starts effing with your, your music, you can just turn it, bam,
boink, and blind them. Yeah,
exactly.
So that's a really cool feature. But
I mean, this would be something. It's not going to replace AirTunes. I'm sorry.
No, but
not at this point.
It's for people that want to do things like this for fun, like we do all the time.
Yeah,
but that's really cool. Thanks a lot for showing us. Is there anything else you'd like to say?
All the pertinent information will be available in the show notes and
hack5.org/forums.
Yeah.
I guess that's it. Cool music, and I think that sums it up. Thank you, guys.